Believing that the earth is round is a humiliation ritual. It requires you to completely abandon everything you know and observe in your daily life. If you were to lay on the top of a car and it took off at 100 miles per hour, your ass is flying right off that shit. But you believe the earth is spinning at approximately 1,000 miles per hour. It goes completely against physics. According to centrifugal force, something that spins exerts an outward force that accelerates away from the object, meaning that if the earth was spinning, we would not only feel it, but we would fly off of it. They claim that gravity is so strong that it keeps you stuck to the surface, but it's also light enough to let planes and birds fly without being sucked to the ground. And water always takes the shape of whatever container you put it in, but experts want you to believe it also sticks to the outside of a ball because that ball is giant. Every single explanation for globe Earth requires the abandonment of logic and blind faith in authority figures. NASA's graphic designer Robert Simmons has admitted there are no raw, unedited photos of Earth because they have to be photoshopped. He claims that they give him data strips and he then creates a 3D image. Wouldn't that be the bare minimum as far as evidence goes for claiming the Earth is round? The only reason anyone believes the Earth is a globe is because that's the story they were fed. Every ancient culture knew the Earth was a flat plane. And as George Orwell said in 1984, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. If you actually
to power electronics without physical fuel. Increased conduction enhances electrical exchange in plant and animal cells, accelerating growth and creating food abundance. The suppression of this technology is calculated to maintain a debt labor extraction economy. JP Morgan terminated funding for Nikola Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower because wireless power from the ionosphere cannot be metered or sold. The Rockefeller Foundation shifted medical and energy sectors toward petroleum, labeling any fuel-free system pseudoscience. The U.S. Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 has legally seized over 6,000 energy patents to protect fossil fuel and nuclear markets. The IMF and World Bank enforce a scarcity model by tying currencies to energy debt. Free atmospheric energy would eliminate their leverage over human labor. NASA functions as a budgetary sink to distract from planetary physics, focusing resources on external space rather than the Earth's own electrical potential. The Earth is a closed-loop system of infinite energy. The technology to ground this energy exists but is suppressed by big oil, major financial institutions, and government secrecy acts. Sharing this information is the first step in dismantling the artificial
The thing is, they're not lying about the shape of the Earth. They're lying about the nature of reality. Perhaps that's the missing puzzle piece. Because what we're doing here is connecting the dots. We're not proving that the Earth is flat. We're connecting the dots. And something you'll find with really left-brained people, really science-oriented numbers guys, mathematics, physics, is they have an inability to connect dots. So why? If people knew that we were the center of the universe and that nothing existed outside of us, perhaps they would live their lives with a bit more intention. Things like war, money, hierarchy, authority, those things would disappear. They released the files and they told you right in your fucking face what they're doing. And nothing changed. You still got up and went to work. You still paid your taxes. And this is not something I can convince you of. This is a realization that takes place within. I could only guide you to water. I can't force it down your throat. If you're living on a flat plane and everything is circling you overhead and we are man and the animals are beast, it puts a different level of responsibility on you. Most people aren't ready for that responsibility. They want information and truth handed to them. In fact, they expect it handed to them. And it's like these people think that I was a 5-year-old flat earther. No, I went to public school. I was force-fed the same propaganda you were. But you know what happened? I realized I was wrong. Are you willing to admit that you're wrong? It's a tough one for a lot of people. They can't do it. I had to look in the mirror and say, you were wrong. The things you were taught are lies. But why? Here we go again. Why? Because flat Earth is the linchpin that holds the big lie together. The war lie, the debt lie, the money lie, the taxes lie, fossil fuel lie, the global warming lie. Because on a flat Earth, nobody has authority over you. That's just a person wearing a costume. That's not an authority figure. There's no such thing. That's all indoctrination and repetition. If you live on a flat Earth, the government will destabilize. NASA can't steal $8 billion in tax a year from you anymore and funnel it into black operations. The government can't tell you to go to work anymore if you live on a flat Earth.